Welcome back to Fixing My Faith. I'm your host, Vern Hoole, and today's poem is called What If? Have you ever just what if'd everything? You know, perhaps you were like me when I got out of the organization. I started to what if everything. You know, what if I would have done this 30 years ago? What if I wouldn't have studied the Truth book? What if I would have, I went to a Mormon meeting. It was before I did the Jehovah's Witness, so I what if that for a while. And then I hired a few Mormons, so later on in life, so it's all kind of the same stuff. And after a while, you just quit what ifing. And so I did this little poem here on that, and follow along with me. It's okay to what if, because what if builds the dreamer in us. So we can do a bit of it, but it can be damaging if it's a negative what ifing. But if it's a positive what ifing, so I started to explore green energy. Well, what if I put a solar system in? What would that do? What if I learned how to do the work myself? How could that help me? So I started what ifing along this line. So what if I kept going up north? Well, that kept happening. The brothers stopped me here. I quit the organization in 2012, and for 7 more years I kept going up to the Arctic, because the locals just kept calling me. And it was awkward, because the first year I had to explain that I quit the Kingdom Hall to all my studies and that up there. And they didn't think much. I just told them, you know, I went through a divorce, and that's that. And my dad passed, and so I just took a course. I just quit going. And I never really addressed too much of it. That's just how it is. The people are very positive up north, and there's no use breaking the vibe. So I embraced the cultures. I went fishing with the locals. I learned about paying the lake, and I wrote about this in other books. And those books, by the way, hopefully will be released. They actually sit within the indigenous communities right now. They've been there for about 6 months with the language artist that's there. Or the language person. And at any rate, I just started what ifing different things. So what if I went on the lake and paid the lake? What if I sat in one of those spiritual meetings? So, you know, I'm in the hotel in the community, and it's July, August. They have their spiritual week in August, and I sneak out. I didn't sneak out because I'm not a JW no more, but it's felt like I was sneaking out. So I go and take in the spiritual week, and it's just normal stuff that we're taught in the Bible. I was just so surprised. It's Catholicism, but it's all in the Bible. It's all the same stuff. None of this hellfire stuff, none of that stuff. I found that the Catholic people are very humble, very humble. Quite a complete flip-flop from the Jehovah's Witness religion. The Jehovah's Witness religion is very sure of themselves, very confident, very pious, very pompous. Not the Catholics, very humble people. And I would say that's a good place to start if you leave the faith. Go back to the roots. Go back to the grandfather of Christianity and do some researching. I did, and I found it's amazing. They have daily scriptures, and it's all about Jesus, I found. And that's the proper emphasis. Jesus is the way, the life, the truth, not the religion. See, Jehovah's Witnesses couldn't say a lot like about Jesus that way, because they usurped Jesus' position, and they claimed providence over the word truth. And this is what you'll see that slanted through all the articles. Rutherford designed it that way, and the faithful slave still does it to this day. So there's my 2 bits. Here's the what if. What if? Just imagine what if. She says to me, I have nothing popping into my head right now. Okay, I can't imagine. What if? But wait, just imagine what if for a moment with me. What if you like poetry? How will you see? What if you like to be a doctor? Where will you go? What if you want to be a rock star and the world's at your toes? Will you go? Now tell me, what do you have popping into your head? Please stay with me. We're together and you're still not dead. So tell me, what if you wanted an electric car? Or what if you wanted to learn how to play an electric guitar? Or what if you wanted to grow things in a greenhouse? And what if you wanted a little pet the size of a mouse? Just imagine what if. What if you were miniature and you could walk under a couch? You see, my friends, this is a form of glee. It takes your mind off the rough sea. The present is ugly, but the future, well, that is yet to be. With Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk, today's visionaries have changed our thrust. Just imagine going to Mars or just driving around in electric cars. Wow, what a time the future beholds. I hope I'm around as it still unfolds. What if I do my part and put solar on my roof? I will leave a better imprint and be less uncouth. What if I do my part and make gasoline the past? Will I rest better in the grave, I'm going to ask? My children and theirs will think of me as an example. They will imitate their granddad, and that's just a sample. They will do great things I cannot even imagine. Yes, today I will start. I will make it all happen. So, and that's what I encourage everyone to do, is get involved in green energy, especially the organization, and they could start by stopping the printing factories, getting everyone on electric print. And you know, even for print, there's already Amazon, they mail things out, they have printing factories. I know when I was checking in with my book, it's green energy, they don't print a whole bunch of books. If you order print and you need print, they just print it up, print one up. It's amazing what they can do nowadays. So no longer do you need these big printing factories printing out 83 million copies of the Watchtower. You know, if you wanted a Watchtower, you'd order it off Amazon and they'd mail it to you. No more double shipping, no more, none of this Watchtower double shipping. It'd make a greener organization. That's just my 2 bits. Whatever you do with it, it's up to you. But anyways, friends, I wanted to share a scripture today, and the scripture is in 1 Corinthians. This is the first scripture that I have ever read. When I was newly coming into the truth, I was 18, maybe 19. I was giving a Bible reading, my very first Bible reading in Calgary. And I was at the meeting, and it was on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and I was really nervous. And before that, I was attracted to the Jehovah's Witness organization through a girl. And so she said she couldn't date me unless I became one. So it kind of lured me in, and I came into a bunch of meetings and so forth. So I always had this attraction on the side as I was coming in. And then one day, I'd given her a ring and everything, and I had long hair at the time. I didn't look like a Jehovah's Witness. I was brand new. And so she gave me my ring back, and her and her mother had a chat and said I was too new. So I was quite disappointed. I moved away, moved to Calgary, got a job, and I was given my first public talk. And when I read this one on love, I really thought I was in love. I was infatuated, of course, but I thought I was in love. You know how that is when you're 18, your first girlfriend, and she gives you back your ring. So I was reading through this. I got halfway through this, verse 8, love never fails, and I had tears coming out of my eyes, and so then I pull it together. But the point that I want to emphasize, it's a beautiful chapter of love. I put it all in my book. I just think this is number one. If you're not going to read anything in the Bible, read this chapter. It's beautiful. It's the whole chapter of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It's on love. It's the definition of love. And Paul could not do that in one line, and he was inspired of God. So in verse 12, this is to the governing body. For at present we see in a hazy outline by means of a metal mirror. But then it will be face to face. At present I know partially. But then I shall know accurately, even as I am accurately known. So this is Paul talking to the Corinthians, and he's saying, you know, at present we just see a hazy outline. And that's what we see today, friends. We don't see the big picture, and everyone runs around saying, I have the truth, and this is going to happen, and the end's happening, and this is happening. We see a hazy outline. And if we humble ourselves and admit that, then we know that the Bible is a guideline. It's not going to give us everything. It's going to give us a roadmap, a hazy outline at the most. And so now we don't come from the standpoint that we know it all. We can come from the standpoint that we have a good idea, or it says this, but we don't know everything. And there's a lot of smart people out there in religion, study, and theology that really know a lot. Now I want to leave you guys with this in verse 13, and this is what Paul said was the most important thing. And if all of you that have left the Jehovah's organization, just keep doing this, and you'll see God's hand all the way through your life. And this is easy for us to do because we were taught the Bible. Even though the Jehovah's Witness religion is a lie, we were taught the Bible through it. Jesus was taught the Bible through a lie, through the Pharisaical religions of his day. And God turned his attention to the nations. It's not that one religious system of things. So we see that today. And so we can compare that to today. You know, we can learn about God, about Jesus through any religion out there that uses the Bible. And I'm not going to knock all those ones that don't, because what do I know? God's not partial. He says that every man that fears him, he will accept. So I don't know about all the other religions, and it's none of my business either. I grew up in this land, and this is the Bible that we have. This is the religion that we're using, and this is it works. It works here, so we use it, right? So here's what I'm leaving everyone with. Now, however, there remain faith, hope, and love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. So friends, live your life with love, and we'll see you next time.